Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Triple R Ryan's Real Reactions, and today we are watching one from StephanieSoo's channel, not the Rotten Mango channel, but her side channel that still has 5 million subscribers on it. I fell in love with my psychiatrist, and he kept me anyway, but nobody believes her. One of you guys messaged me this on Instagram and said, you have to watch this, it's crazy. And I said, okay, let's do it. Follow me on Instagram, by the way, if you ever want to reach out. Links in the description. Just search my name, Ryan Abe, R-Y-A-N-A-B-E, and I'll pop right up on Instagram. Shoot me a follow. But yeah, here we go. I'm excited for this one. I'm going to do half of the video, and then as always, I'll finish the other half next weekend. So we'll do like an hour into this one. Here we go. StephanieSoo.
Here comes my surprise. When I get a new TikTok, I swipe, and there's this lady on my screen that's like, I fell in love with my psychiatrist, and he knew it. And he kept me until I had the strength to leave for 4 years. And I'm like, what book is that?
I fell in love with my psychiatrist.
There she is.
He knew, and he kept me until I had the strength to leave after 4 years.
It's not dark mafia romance. This is a real lady. This is real life, and this is how I transitioned.
I really like that house in that globe right there. It almost reminds me of the Courage the Cowardly Dog house.
From my amazing fictional dark mafia FYP to a lady named Kendra. All I know on TikTok.
What the heck is Dark Mafia?
Is this woman named Kendra. Now, Kendra is everywhere. Kendra won't leave me alone. Let me tell you about Kendra. Kendra has a 9,000 part series about her psychiatrist.
Wow, look at those views. They're all millions, 2 million, 3 million. Holy moly.
That has gone on for so long now. Every time I click my TikTok app, I feel like I'm a board certified psychiatrist. I feel drained. I feel like I get on TikTok, Kendra shows up, I've clocked into work as some mental health professional. I'm on the clock. Her problem?
You're on the TikTok clock. Remember when they banned TikTok for like 8 hours? Everyone made a big deal out of it, and then it was like, it's back.
Are my problems. Her problems are the world's problems. I've neglected my own life for Kendra's life. Kendra starts off, part 1, giving us the context. And like, you know, I'm going to walk you through my spiritual journey of watching Kendra's. Some people call it a spiraling. Some people call it, yeah.
So I've seen some people reacting to it, right? I don't know this full story. I saw a little bit.
Hi.
But this was like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Is this still going on today?
It's still going on.
You can just tell Stephanie is exhausted from having to watch all of these.
Okay, so she's actively posting as we speak.
Yeah, and it's like actually very frustrating because I have genuinely, I don't know how to rebuild my TikTok FYP. Like, I get on there, I'm drained because like the first 5 videos, I swear if I open this app right now, it's going to be Kendra. It's going to be about Kendra. Kendra's going to be live. Kendra's going to be talking to Henry. Yeah, there's lots of people involved now. Oh, you're about to...
Okay.
I'm going to guess Henry's the psychiatrist. Okay, that's a crazy pause. Hold on.
Fine.
Okay, that's a little better. If you ever like see something on your For You page and you don't want it, some people don't know this, I'm sure most do. You just got to hard press on it and then hit not interested. Or like, I don't know if it says do not show me or whatever, but just hit that. And then you'll get rid of that. Because I was getting like videos of like soldiers coming home and it was making me cry. And I missed my family. And I was like, no, not right now.
Out who the fuck Henry is, because once you find out who Henry is, you'll never go back to who you were before. Okay. Kendra starts off part 1, giving us context, and I need you to go on this journey with me, even if you know a little bit about it.
I'm ready.
All I knew is that I opened up the comments and some people were like, oh my god, this is the new who the fuck did I marry series, but it's like,
what is that? Who the F did I marry? Woman ran background check on husband after their Tessa found out she married a pathological liar who stole his twins. Is that something I need to watch? Too? Am I living under a rock? Should I watch that too? Wait, Rotten Mango. These are Rotten Mango videos. Are they, StephanieSoo? Whatever. Do I need to watch those too? I might be living under a rock. Call me Patrick Starr.
Like, who the fuck is my psychiatrist series? So I'm like, okay, I'm gearing up. I might as well get my notepad ready. Kendra has ADHD. Kendra's like a little white lady, okay?
Yeah.
This is kind of important for later. And she's got ADHD. She decides after years of being off meds, she's gonna get back on meds.
How old is she?
I would say like late 30s.
Okay.
And she books an appointment with a psychiatrist. Literally just Googles the first one that pops up. Books the appointment. It's a telehealth Zoom.
Damn, no research or nothing. I've had a therapist for many years, but it took a bunch of different therapists for me to land my therapist. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid of changing therapists until I find the one. You know, and that's how you should be. You gotta get the one that's right for you.
I decided to make an appointment with a psychiatrist. I just Googled psychiatry in the city that I lived in, and I went with the first one that came up.
And when you're a new patient, they usually do like a 90-minute intake, which like, okay, to give you context for people who are mentally sound, who have never had the privilege of fighting demons in here day and night, therapists, you're typically going to them for counseling, therapy. They're like reoccurring appointments every Tuesday. Oh, I got a Tuesday meeting. I got a doctor's appointment on Thursday. Whatever your heart desires to call it, that's therapy. You go there.
Oh, I always just tell people I have therapy. I think it's weird that people are like, yeah, I'm in therapy. I'm like, yeah, you could, it's good. It's good to be in, it's like, people think it's a bad thing. Like, yes, it means that we have some issues, but guess what? We all do, okay? We all have some things going on and we need to talk to somebody about.
There you sit down and you say, hey, listen, so some shit went down this week and I feel kind of stressed about it. I feel anxious and I did that thing that you told me to do, but I'm having a mental breakdown. That's what you do. It's primarily talking. You do like cognitive behavioral therapy, stuff like that. It's amazing. Then you have psychologists. That's usually what we talk about on Rotten Mango, okay? So to my knowledge, most of the time they don't do weekly sessions. I'm sure some of them do, but they're mainly there to offer detailed assessments and offer comprehensive psychological testing. So you go there and maybe you're with them for like 3 weeks, like 3 appointments over the span of 3 weeks to go through intensive testing. They study and observe your behavior. Like you're not really just sitting there the whole time. And then you're like, okay, see you next Tuesday. Mm-hmm. They'll work on criminal cases to assess and observe the defendant. It's not like you go to jail for talk therapy. Then you got the psychiatrist. These people, I feel like I can say this because my sister is a pharmacist. They're like legal dealers. That's what they call them. Okay.
Yeah, they're the ones that can prescribe you. You know, like I'm on Lexapro. Shout out my SSRI gang.
I mean, that's what pharmacists are. They're like, you got the street dealers and then you got the legal dealers. They're prescribing you meds. They prescribe you psychiatric meds. You see them like 15 minutes of a month and they monitor your dosage. They don't ask about how your day, they don't ask about your relationship. They don't ask about your parents. They don't ask about your childhood trauma. I mean, sometimes they might if it's relevant or if you're trauma dumping on them. But usually the Zoom call goes something like this. Hey, how are you? So how do you feel? How have you been? How are things? Great. And how's sleeping these days? Like, is sleep still good? Has that gotten fixed? We changed your dosage, right? You're like, yeah. Okay, sounds good. So same CVS? Yeah, thanks.
Yep.
And then you hang up.
And that's who she's
That's
talking
the psychiatrist.
about? Oh
She's
my
not even
God.
talking about her therapist.
Oh.
I mean, I guess you could tell them your life story, but like truly, they're in and out of that telehealth session. They're like 15 minutes in, 15 minutes out. They know nothing about my life, really. I mean, they know some things like I got anxiety, but they don't really know anything else about my life.
That's exactly how it is with me. When I get my Lexapro re-upped, every like once a year, I have to go to my primary care physician. I do a quick checkup. He asks how I'm doing. Take my blood pressure, check my heart and all that. Same thing. You sleeping well? You doing good? Okay. All right. And we'll see you next year. That's pretty much what it is.
She does the intake. First appointment with the doctor. She's like, okay, I notice a few things. First of all, smoking hot. He's hot.
And this man is my age, and I can't help but notice that he's pretty attractive, this psychiatrist.
Hot. Okay. And I'm like, you know what? At this point, I don't know anything about Kendra. I'm like, okay, I mean, you're brutally honest and I like it. Like, tell me what's going on. And she's like, he's hot. He's my age. He's attractive.
Is
And
she single?
She's on and off single.
Uh-oh.
Kendra is,
Okay.
Kendra's a whirlwind. So she's like, but when I tell you that I've had a lot of couch time in my life, a lot of therapy, and I'm like, that's fine, me too, okay? I just went right into it. I trusted him enough. Of course, why wouldn't I tell him about my childhood trauma, my daddy issues, if you will?
To tell him about my childhood trauma, my daddy issues, if you will.
And I was like, I don't know, Kendra. I feel like that's not really what you do with psychiatrists, but that's fine. She's like, what I went through of all that relationship trauma that I had, I was 6 months sober at this time, but all the drinking.
I'm also 6 months sober. I'm 2 months sober from marijuana. 2 years sober from marijuana. Sorry. Over 2 years now. like 27 months, and then I'm 6 months sober from alcohol, which is very difficult over the holidays, let me tell you, but you got to power through it. Also, bottom left, that kind of looks like a Minecraft villager a little bit.
The substance use that I used to do, and he just like listened and nodded, and I'm like, I don't know why you're telling your psychiatrist this, but it's actually like very professional that he's listening and nodding. I feel like my psychiatrist would be like, oh yeah, okay, well,
My next appointment's coming up.
Time to go.
so let me know if you're still shitting. I'll see you next month. Okay, like that's pretty much what he would do. But like he's listening, he's nodding, he's ever professional. And like that's the thing with psychiatrists. They're still mental health professionals at the end of the day. They're doctors. Like they have to be good at listening to their patients. Like they're gonna be connected to you. And she's like, exactly. He was connected.
That's the thing about psychiatrists, is that they're good at pretending to listen. They can appear connected.
She's got those real thick lenses, because when you see someone that has really thick glasses, it like shrinks. It like you could see like it looks like her head goes in, but it's just because they're the thick lenses.
But that doesn't mean that they're always connected. So I just felt really seen.
You know, so I felt really seen. And I told him, I was like, look, I don't want to be on stimulant meds. And so you know what he did? She's like, he fucking listened. He put me on like a low dose non-stimulant ADHD med. And at this point, I'm like waiting for the shoe to drop. And I feel like this is going to become a reoccurring thing. I keep watching, I don't know, 9 gajillion parts of this, waiting for Kendra to be like, that was the moment, Kendra. Like, I see your vision, Kendra.
My question is, how do people have the time to upload so many TikToks and so many parts and do all these things? Like, I just feel like that would take all day.
I see and I feel what you felt. And I'm like, maybe this is the time. But she's like, so he did exactly what I asked him to do, like a doctor. And he just made me feel seen. And I'm like, what do you mean seen? Like, did you send him pictures? Like, were you naked? Like, what do you mean seen? Like, this feels normal. And then she's like, he just like cracked jokes and he was impressed with the running that I do.
He was really, really funny and cracked jokes and told me he was impressed with my running that I would do.
The running?
Yeah, so I guess she would make small talk in the beginning of every appointment. Like, you know, every Zoom call.
I was going to say, this is like bare minimum, though. It's just a psychiatrist. It's like, nice. Yeah, it's really cool. You're running, what, 5 miles a day? Wow, that's really great. It's just small talk.
Telehealth. You're like, oh.
She's running out there?
Yeah, she's like marathoning. And then, you know, the doctor's like, what have you been up to? And you go, nothing, but I can't say nothing because then, I mean, you're my mental health professional, so like I'm just gonna say pickleball. I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
I play pickleball. I'm getting better as time goes on. I'm getting pretty good. I've learned to stay out of the kitchen. If you don't know anything about pickleball, you might be like, what are you talking about? But those who know.
She's like, I'm running. So he's like, oh yeah, that's impressive. Small talk.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly. Thank you. Small talk.
Which, like, I feel like I must be, because if you're going to levy accusations like this against a mental health professional, like a doctor, you got to give us something, because these are public accusations. And she keeps telling us, she keeps interrupting her story to be like, I am doing this to help you and other people. I would really like to discuss what happens when we fall in love with our mental health professionals. And most importantly, the fact that there are so many people, especially men, that are emotionally dead inside, that feel called to go into psychiatry and therapy so they don't have to feel their feelings, but they can feed off of the vulnerability of their mostly female patients. And this is where...
This is disturbing.
I started getting a little bit stressed. Because I'm like, okay, this might make it harder for people to reach out to mental health professionals, but like, it's fine. Okay, let's see what she has to say. And Kendra says that at this point, she starts getting addicted to her psychiatrist. And at one point early on in their sessions, like this is like what, the 3rd session in? So like 3 months in, she's probably talked to this guy for what, collectively 2 hours? Because
right.
The 90-minute intake. And she asks him, hey,
will you marry me?
Do you mind if I call you by your first name?
And it was in my 3rd session with him, because at this point we were all on Zoom, that I asked him, I said, hey, do you mind if I call you by your first name? First name.
We're on a first name basis.
Okay.
That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Oh, your name's Henry. Can I call you Hen? Can I call you Hun? Can I call you Henry?
Like, what? And she's like, he's Pakistani. So I said his first name wrong. And he's like, well, it's pronounced this, but yeah, of course you can.
And he seemed so smug and happy with himself.
And I'm like, again, I'm not in the room, so like maybe I'm not seeing what she's seeing, but she's not doing a good job communicating that to us. Like she doesn't describe how he felt so smug and happy with himself. Like maybe he felt smug that he corrected your ass on how to pronounce his name. I don't know,
Right.
okay? But she's like,
That was his first sign that him pretending like we're friends was working.
Wait, but you're the one that asked to call him by his first name.
yeah. And like, if you're confused, I feel like I was confused for like the first 10 parts of her 25 million part series because the
How many parts was it? It's got to be like 90.
first 10 parts, I'm still like, wait, am I missing context? Because she keeps saying like he's a predator. He was grooming me. Like he was doing this. He fell
Whoa, okay, that's crazy.
in love with me. He wanted me. He was like manipulating me. He was taking advantage of me. And then I'm like, wait, where is the part where you tell me he took advantage of you? And she's like, basically, he wanted me to call him by his first name. I was the one that asked, but he wanted it. Because like, I mean, it would be rude to say no.
Wasn't there a movie called Call Me By Your Name? And a Weekend song? Maybe that was about Kendra and Henry. Oh, Henry. I think it's a candy bar.
Oh, call me doctor. I went to med school and you didn't, though, life. Like, that'd be kind of rude, you know?
Right.
So far, I'm only seeing very normal professional interactions. Maybe I'm just not there yet. And so I have slight reservations, but people pick up on vibes and then cannot express the vibes in words. And sometimes they come off as insane.
So like when she
Yeah.
first started talking about this, right?
But
First,
yeah, she says it, my predatory psychiatrist. That's a very big accusation to levy.
few parts, I think that's immediately it went viral, right?
Yes.
Like everyone was talking about it because it does sound kind of like crazy. It could be true, and that would be insane.
I think, okay, initially when it went viral, it's like the first few parts, she spends a lot of time talking about the encapsulation of all of the feelings. She's like, he's a predator in the medical field. This happens a lot. I've talked to a lot of people. Lots of mental health male providers are feeding off of female vulnerability. They're sickos in the head, right? And so a lot of the discourse was that. And everyone was like, ooh, yeah, I could see that. Like, I can see that. And then some people were like, oh, I've heard of a story where this has happened before. And so everyone's kind of agreeing. And they're like, wait, tell us your story, Kendra. Like, tell us what happened to you and your psychiatrist. And then she's like, he manipulated me. He was a predator. He wanted me to call him by his first name. And so then people are like, okay, well, that's not crazy, but
She added the hub. I have a hub button on my thing here. I have a button. When I'm a Twitch streamer, follow me on Twitch. I say it all the time. My link's right in the description if you see it. And I have a soundboard where I have if you ever want a fart sound effect, I got it.
maybe we're like, she's melting the ice for us. We're going to get there slowly. So there's another part and then another part. And I'm like, give Kendra time to cook. We don't know what Kendra's got going on. Let her tell us what happened. Now, side note, she does later say it kind of probably was not the best idea to call him by his first name. She says,
And to be fair to me, I had only ever been to therapy before. I didn't realize that, it's important to call your doctor last name. I mean, I did know that. I did it with all my other doctors, but it just showed
I didn't know that, except I did know that.
that the boundaries were blurring, and he liked that.
And also, you can't see because it's blocked, but the comments are turned off. When the comments are turned off, that means someone's getting hate and they can't handle it.
and I'm like, Kendra, you're starting to lose me a little bit, but I'm still here and I'm still listening. We're all here, right? We're all here for you. And she's explaining. After that, she starts calling him by his first name in the sessions, and he's just cranking up the heat, making them friendlier and friendlier in each session. And we're all like, what happened?
He asked me how my day was going.
She's like, he would ask me, how's your bowels?
Okay, I was close.
And then he just started turning up the volume on us being friendly. He would ask me after the meds, he said, how's your bowels, bladder, and appetite? And I
That's turning up the friendship? Hey, are you shitting? Oh my gosh. He cares about me.
would say they're all normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like, ooh, my bowel.
It's like, no, he doesn't. Well, he does. He cares about your well-being because he prescribed you the meds. So if things are going wrong, he's got to know about it. If you say, yeah, I'm shitting 17 times a day or haven't in 17 days, that's a problem.
Yeah. And the medical professional is asking if you're shitting okay. Like, I would hardly call that first date material.
If that's flirting, I need to readjust what I do when I flirt.
He's asking
But what
her,
does she say though?
Okay, so she's basically like, oh, this is where it gets a little crazy. She's saying that he would ask if she has thoughts of self-injuring, which is a big thing, especially if you're starting new medications and specific medications. And she was just like, I was special to him.
And then on our 6th session, when things were really, you know, the chemistry was starting to be there before, like, I didn't realize it. I was like, oh, this man is just friendly. He said, I have to ask this because it's a special interest of mine. But is there any thoughts of harm? Like, I was special to him.
This is, no. Is she acting? What? This can't be real. Like I was special. No, he doesn't want you to do, what?
That's literally what she says.
Well, that's crazy. You need to make sure your patient is not thinking dark thoughts like that because of the medication. Also, let me tell you, as somebody that's been on Lexapro for 2 years now and upped my medication dose from 5, 10 to 15 and found my sweet spot. If you're someone that's never taken an SSRI, but you think that you need help with depression or anxiety, obviously contact a medical professional. Well, you need to, number one, to get it. But don't be afraid, because I was always like, oh my gosh, what if it changes me for the worst? And I put it off for so long, and it's only been great. And you know what? It's different for everybody. You might need to find the medication for you, you know. But don't be afraid to try different ones. I always thought, like, because I tried, I forget what I tried years before, and it didn't work for me. It wasn't right. It wasn't the right fit. It doesn't alter your brain. So then you're like, oh, now I'm completely different. Now I get, no, it's like you can try different things, wean it off, and then find one that you like. So I would encourage you, if you haven't, or you're worried or you're scared like I was, now I look back and I'm like, gosh, I wish I was on this for the last 10 years because it's progressed my life a lot. I did put on about 30 pounds. I'm going to be honest. I'm dieting now. I'm eating better because one day I was like, wait a second. And I can't, it's hard for me to cry. But other than that, I'm happy.
Whoa.
Yeah, like he asked me, and it was like I was special to him. And I'm like,
Okay. That's crazy.
I'm starting to get very stressed right now because like this. Anyway, if you guys have been also lucky like me to be blessed with genetic issues up here, okay, and you've had countless psychiatry appointments, this is so run-of-the-mill stuff. It's just like, what's your name?
It's
What's your date of
textbook.
birth?
It's textbook.
Hey, are you okay? Like, that's it. And she's like, I was special to him. So he would ask about her appetite, her bladder, all of these things, because those are the things that he needs to ask for. And this is the one part of the conversation where like, listen, I say this with alarming eyesight. Anytime I take off my contacts during the eye exam, I don't know who the doctor is. I can't tell you. I can't see you. There is one test I will fail every single time. It's the eye exam. So I say this with bad eyesight, but she's wearing these giant tortoise shell
See, I said this already.
Eyeglasses. But the lenses, I swear, they be so thick because they warp her eyes. And she just looks very intense at times. And she says, are there any, he asked me, are there any thoughts of harm? I was special to him. It's like someone on a medical form asking if you're pregnant. It's not suggestive. They're not saying, can I impregnate you? If not, it's just like, are you pregnant? But Kendra is like, no, this doctor wants my children. Okay. And I keep waiting again for the part. So I keep watching. She says that every appointment that she would go to, he would have this like miltang situation. Miltang in Korean is like push and pull, where on certain appointments, he would be very friendly. They would have so much small talk. And she makes it very clear to everybody right off the bat. And like Kendra is brutally honest, if anything. And she says at no point did he ever cross any professional boundaries.
Then how are you labeling him a predator?
My psychiatrist was good at anything. It was being professional and acting professional and technically not crossing any lines. And he thought that he was so good at it because he was good at it.
He thought that he was so good at it, and he was. Well, then he didn't think it. That means he was just good at his job.
But that doesn't mean he wasn't doing it.
So I'm like, okay, what's happening then? And then so she's like, he was never unprofessional with me, but he was very funny. He would crack jokes. He was very funny. He was very witty. And I started gaining more and more respect for him. He would tell me about all of these professional accolades that he had. Now, I don't know because I wasn't in these telehealth sessions, but I imagine he probably like had his fucking degrees in the back. And then like, you know, sometimes you're like, hey, what's that? Did you guys know one time I was on a video call with someone really important? I don't know who set this up.
Wait, that's a crazy pause. Hold on.
Video call with someone really important.
Stephanie, I'm so sorry to do that. Looks like a turtle coming out of the water to get some air.
I don't know who set this up. I don't know why they let me. And he was telling me, this is like a very established filmmaker. And he was telling me about how his kids play basketball and how he loves his kids. And his kids are like, I don't know, in middle school. And he's like sitting in front of this bookshelf with all these trophies. And I'm like, oh my God, is that your kid's trophy? He's like, actually, that's my Emmy that I won for my documentary. And I was like, oh. So
You see the red sign behind Stephanie?
this is an Oscar, okay?
We found that in a thrift shop.
Yeah, like it was really bad. Yeah, and that's the vibe that Kendra's giving me. It's like he probably had his things, and then she's like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, that was when I graduated, and this is anyway." Or he's probably like, "Hey, just to give you a background on what I specialize in, like these are the things that I've been doing, and so." That's my background. You can feel safe around me. I've got lots of experience treating people, patients like you. Don't worry, you're in good hands. And she's like, no.
Oh my God. If he told her you're in good hands, she would think that means he wants to cuddle.
Bragging to me like he's showing off. And she said it made me fall for him, honestly. Yeah, no. And still, I'm like, Kendra, I'm here with you. Like, I got you. Like, just tell me if anyone is going to believe a male in a position of power abused his power, it's going to be TikTok. It's going to be us. I'm your target audience. Tell me what happened, Kendi. Tell me, Kendra. But she's like, no.
I said, did you guys know that Stephanie, like, got her start as, like, a mukbanger? So I went on this channel and I clicked, like, her most viewed videos, and they were all from a long time ago, and it was, like, her eating, like, giant things of noodles and talking about Nikocado avocado, if anybody knows who that is or whatever his name is. I was like, oh wow, what a level up from that to like true crime to like legitimate journalist.
He was really good at listening. I mean, he's a Pisces, right?
So I was seeing him every month and just gaining more and more respect for him because he would just tell me these little things about his successes and all of the cool things that he was doing in his life. And it made me fall for him, honestly. And he was really good at listening. And I mean, he's a Pisces, right? So of course he's going to be there and be able to go deep with my feelings, but that doesn't mean that he wasn't extracting from them.
And everyone's like,
How did she find out about that?
oh my gosh, that's true. That is weird.
I mean, how do
She probably Googled him.
you know your doctor's birthday?
That's true. So either she asked or she looked it up.
Yeah.
She looked it up.
That's weird.
Equally alarming.
Yeah.
Equally alarming.
Or maybe they just like, what's your sign? What about you?
True.
Type of thing.
I've never had a doctor ask me what's my
I know, but I think
So that
maybe
means
she asked.
Yeah. Which is also weird.
That's weird, yeah.
I'm a Cancer. That's why I feel a lot of heavy emotions.
That's weird.
Yeah,
I
maybe
mean,
small talk, maybe.
I will ask anyone what their MBTI is. I'm not going to ask my psychiatrist what his MBTI is. That's crazy, okay? But she's like, I mean, he's a Pisces, right?
And what does that mean?
He's good at listening.
Ah, I
All
see.
the comments, all my astrology girlies in the comments are like, girl, he's a psychiatrist. Like, I know we love our like star placements, but that's literally his job.
Right.
I also see a lot of discourse of girls being like, see guys, there is hope. Like the bar is so low, y'all. Like just listen. That's all women want, it appears. Just listen. That's it. So she's like, he's really good at listening. And at this point, I think people are like confused. This is at the point where I'm like confused. I want to say I was slightly entertained at this point. The slightly entertaining goes away and it becomes slightly alarming. And so at this point, I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on. It's like saying he's an accountant. He's good at math, but also he's a Virgo. So I'm like, okay, you're losing us. So she's explaining how she's falling for him. And then each part is very lengthy. And each part she's giving us tiny little kibbles, crumbs of information. She's like, then at my next appointment, he told me about his accomplishments and I started falling for him. And then it's like a 3-minute tangent about how he's a predator.
I mean, that's such a crazy jump.
And like how this is not okay. And she was manipulated for years. And it's just like, okay, so these are like very big accusations we're going back to. But then all we have so far are these like little crumbs that she's giving us. And we're like trying to see where the accusations and the crumbs fit because she's telling us it's a giant cookie this big, but we only have crumbs enough, not even fit my fingernail. So I'm like, when are we going to get the rest of the pieces of the cookie to make this make sense? And she's like, don't worry, I'm going to give it to you in parts. So we keep going. I really have to fix my FYP. And she claims that her therapist starts using her. This is when we get another character into this. She's got a therapist. She originally had a male therapist. And she's like, but I stopped going to him because he wasn't doing anything for me.
My therapist at the time, he was fine. You know, he wasn't a predator, but he was fine. He just wasn't doing very much for me. And so that therapist retired and I got a new therapist.
Oh, he retired. He might have retired because of Kendra.
And so a lot of netizens, were like, oh, that's a little weird too.
Okay.
I don't know. It just was weird the way she said it. So netizens were getting confused. And then later she says that she ends up getting this 75-year-old PhD grad, older woman therapist. So this is like talk therapy. She's going in there and she's talking about her feelings and she's learning all these coping mechanisms. And she says that she is talking to this therapist and this therapist is also using her. So basically, like every mental health professional that she's coming across is just asinine. Like they're
Using her
vile.
How?
Just like getting off on her stories.
A 75-year-old woman is getting off to her stories.
Just way too interested.
Feeding off her vulnerability.
Yeah, and just way too interested in her dating life. Loved stories from her dating life, was getting her supply that way. And she keeps using words like this, like supply.
She also was getting supply from me in her own way, but that's for another part.
And a lot of mental health professionals have commented and they're like, I think she's referring to like a narcissist supply because like a lot of narcissists will need supply. Like they need their fix, right? Of attention or certain things psychologically, but it's weird. So she keeps saying supply. And again, everyone's confused with like, okay, so your psychiatrist is in love with you. You're in love with your psychiatrist. And then your therapist
Tell me she falls in love with the 75-year-old woman.
is like getting off on your dating stories and you are her supply.
I would tell the therapist how obsessed I was with my psychiatrist, and she didn't do anything about it. She just...
What was she supposed to do? Call him? Message him on Facebook? A therapist's job is to listen and provide some feedback. What else is she supposed to do?
was interested. She also loved stories about my dating life, and yeah.
But also, I don't know if that's the case. I would feel like if a therapist is interested in your dating life, it's like if I had a giant golf ball sized pimple on my boob and I walk out of the doctor's office and I go, honey, you don't think it's weird that he was so interested in my boob? And you're like, yeah, you have a fucking golf ball sized pimple on your boob, okay? Maybe something's wrong with your boob, so he's interested in your boob. Like maybe there's something wrong with her dating life that the therapist is like, maybe we should try to get through this. But she's like, no. She was obsessed with my dating life, like obsessed, like getting off on it. So I'm like, okay. But I proceed with caution because Kendra could be onto something because maybe we're just not there. And she says that she keeps going to the psychiatrist still. And then she'll go and talk to her therapist about the psychiatrist. And she says, he was just manipulating her vulnerabilities. He would be so cold one second, then so wonderful, and let her in on these little parts of his life and be vulnerable with him. It's
I had a cheeseburger today. Thank you so much for sharing.
giving like, what'd you do this weekend? I went golfing.
Right.
Some sessions he'd be warm and kind and wonderful and let me in on little parts of
Of course, the comment on the TikTok, drop his name. Yeah, just go ahead and dox him, why don't you?
his life and like be vulnerable with me or pretend. Other sessions, he would be cold and clinical and detached. And you know what that did? It made me work harder in our next sessions. It did. And it started the addiction that I had to him. 100%. And he knew exactly what he was doing. This man gives lectures on trauma and attachment theory. He used his psychiatric training to manipulate me and get me hooked. And guess what? It worked.
She says she becomes so in love with her psychiatrist that January of 2024, okay, so this is when all of the entertaining element of this just like dissipated. Not that it's entertaining to hear about stuff like this, but like you're so captivated because you're like, what is going on? This is where it all goes away and it becomes just alarming. January of 2024, so last year, Kendra gets hit by a car.
Oh my God. Oh my God, it was the therapist. He wanted to get closer to me.
A collision with a motor vehicle. She goes to urgent care. She's got bruising on her abdomen. So this is not some like boop boop New York City car keeps inching closer because the pedestrian is crossing when they're not supposed to. Boop boop. It's not that. Kendra was boop, boop, hit by a motor vehicle. She has a perforated eardrum. She's got bruising on her abdomen. And the urgent care provider tells her, you need to go to the emergency room because you could have internal bleeding. Like you could be bleeding on the inside as we speak. You could die, Kendra. This is 11 a.m. She has a psychiatry appointment at 2 p.m. She's like,
oh my God, she can't go to the ER because of her appointment.
you know what? I don't want to miss this appointment because I love my psychiatrist. So I'm going to wait and go to the ER afterwards.
Wow.
That's crazy. Hey, you might be dying of internal bleeding. You're like, yeah, but I got a 2 p.m. I'll have to reschedule the ER for that.
That she was looking forward to this appointment so much that she was going to risk it all, literally.
In January of 2024, I was hit by a car turning left as I was going through a green light. It was the night before my appointment, my next appointment with my psychiatrist. And the provider at the urgent care said, I do not feel comfortable treating you. You need to seek emergency care now. You may be internally bleeding.
It says, I was more worried about missing my psychiatry appointment than the car accident and my health. It's weird because it's like she has the wherewithal. She has the capability to understand things and comprehend. But then it's like, that's why you can't take things for face value. Somebody tells you something, you got to see both sides. When somebody says, oh, blah, blah, blah's a terrible person, it's like, yeah, but you could be saying that. I need facts, not a screenshot. No, I need facts. It's like Becca Scoops. She does a great job of proving that Gypsy Rose Blanchard is a bad person. Okay? Just like always, though, I started it being in the middle, a little bit on Gypsy's side. And then I watched Becca Scoops videos, and now I'm clearly on the opposite end because they proved it. Kendra's not proving nothing. Besides, she's insane.
But it was 11 o'clock in the morning, and my appointment with my psychiatrist was at 2. So I decided that I was going to wait so I could see my psychiatrist and not have to reschedule because
she's like, hey, Henry, how are you? He's like, what the hell's wrong with you? I just have a cold.
I was looking forward to my appointment with him so much. I look back at that time and I'm just like, oh my God, I put my own life under seeing him. I was fully addicted to him at this point.
So this is when she says that she shows up to the appointment and she's like, hey, guess what? I might be bleeding internally.
Hey, surprise, I might be dying.
And she says,
and I told him that I may be internally bleeding, and he didn't stop the appointment. He didn't say, you need to take care of yourself. Go get emergency care now. He let me continue and just tell him about how much I loved him and how grateful I was for him. Because that was really what most of our appointments were, is me just like pouring myself out because he was so good at the intermittent reinforcement. Yeah, I got some warmth from him that appointment.
Which, like, this part I was confused by because I guess at face value it is a little weird. But also, I feel like this is how the interaction went. Hey, how are you?
Oh, good. Except I went to urgent care because it was like this whole thing. I got hit by a car. It was like a tap, and then they thought I was like internally bleeding. But like, yeah, no, it's been insane.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're okay. That sounds scary. I mean, assuming you're on this call with me,
right,
you must be fine. So let's talk about your meds.
Yeah, no, the meds are great. Literally so grateful that you're taking care of me.
Yeah, of course. Like,
right.
That's the vibe it gives me.
I feel like if somebody asked him, he would have been like, wait, she thinks I'm in love. Wait, what? She thinks I'm, huh? Like, he would be shocked. I'm sure he found this series, obviously. I'm sure he was like, are you kidding me? Also, we're at the halfway point of the video. Thank you for being here. If you're still here, make sure to like the video because, we still got half the video to go of part 1 of 2. And you might leave before doing that. I have a comment I wanted to pull up. Where is it? From my Becca Scoops video that somebody left. Harley, she said, Ryan, I'm literally addicted to your videos. Thank you, Harley. I appreciate that. Then Sarah responded and said, same. I've been binging all of his playlists for a week. I feel like a creeper. Listen, that doesn't make you a creeper. Okay? That shows dedication, and I appreciate it. I know a lot of you watch all the videos now, go through all of them. Hey, I appreciate it. Seriously. It means a lot. So that made me laugh. Thank you. Thank you for your addiction. As long as it's not a bad one like this, okay? I'm not your psychiatrist, okay? I'm just a YouTuber. A lot of comments on this one, I'm sure. Don't even have to ask, because what the hell? Subscribe to the channel before you go. Maybe you're going to leave in the next 10 minutes. I hope not. I hope you stay to the end. But if you don't, please subscribe now. Turn on notifications. Sometimes people ask when I post. I have it on my banner on the page. If you go to my channel, it's Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Right around 5 o'clock. Give or take 30 minutes, but I'm usually right on the money. All right. Back to Stephanie and Kendra.
So what did she say about this? She's saying that she made this crazy sacrifice.
Yeah,
to
and
see him?
he, as a medical professional, did not tell her, hey, hang up, go to ER.
That is crazy. I mean, how does he even know your
How bad it
medical
is.
condition? at
So
that
she
moment?
told him that she might be internally bleeding.
Oh.
And so that's why I feel like that
He probably was like, yeah, whatever, Kendra.
doesn't make...
Then why are you here?
Yeah, that's why I assume as like a regular human interaction, you would be inclined to think...
Oh, also, I said it on Sunday. Let me go full screen for this. The Triple R merch will be available and shown for the first time this upcoming Sunday, a week from today, in a shirt and a sweatshirt. $30 for the shirt, $40 for the sweatshirt. I'm going to surprise you with the design on video on Sunday. Can't wait. Just excited about it. I've had some comments say, ooh, I'm excited about the merch. That makes me happy because I'm always like, what if not one person buys it? I would, whatever. But like, what if it flops? But I don't think the Triple Army will let it flop at this point because you guys have my back. But I'm excited. Next Sunday, a week from today, or whenever you're watching this. If you're watching this on Tuesday, then 5 days. But what's the exact date? Let me just check here. I'm sorry for blabbing so much. I'm in the mood to talk. Check my calendar. All right, that is the 7th of December. So I'll give you plenty of time to get it if you want to get it for somebody as a Christmas gift. You'll see why it's relatable, or if you want it for yourself. International shipping is available. I keep pausing on weird moments here. But yeah, Triple R merch. You'll like it. Trust me. You'll like it. I hope. I think you will.
Well, if you're on the Zoom call with me,
Yeah.
like you just maybe like, that was crazy. I don't really know what to say about it, but like you must be fine. But like, oh, hope you're okay.
Yeah.
She says, and that's really when he starts just amping up the intimacy in our appointment.
That's when he really started turning up the
What did she put on her face there?
intimacy in our appointments. However, he was really smart and knew the professional lines like the back of his hand. So he would comment on my appearance, but not compliment my appearance.
What does that even mean? Like,
Oh, you're wearing glasses today. And
Oh my God.
she's like, it was very intimate. And he knows what he's doing.
Holy
He's
my
not
God.
crossing any professional boundaries because he's too smart for that. She believes that she's not the first victim of his.
For herself calling her a victim is crazy.
So she's like, he knows what he's doing. And I'm like, you know what? I get it. Like sometimes it'd be like that. Like sometimes you read in between the lines of tone and like maybe we're just still not seeing it. And she seems so confident about this. So I'm still kind of with her at this point. I'm like, okay, like maybe he said it really creepy. I don't know, right? But she doesn't ever
You're wearing glasses today. I doubt it. I'm sure it was, oh, you're wearing glasses today. Hello, I have eyes.
say that. She doesn't say like he said it so creepy.
Or I would come on screen and he would say, oh, you're wearing glasses. And of course I felt seen and
Yeah, seen,
excited
literally seen, yes, with his eyes.
that he was noticing these things about me.
So it's just like he's noticing things.
Oh,
which
Lord.
I'm like, feels like he's just like maybe an awkward person like me. Like if I'm on a Zoom call, I'm like,
I love your curtains. I like your blinds.
yeah, like I can't have a moment of silence. Like maybe it's
Yeah, okay, I like your hair today. Hey, your hair looks good. Hey, you got your hair done. That doesn't mean it's like it's a compliment. Well, no, I guess what he would say there is, oh, you got your hair done. Not even that he likes it. Just, oh, you got your hair done. An observation.
that. But she's like, no, this is, and at this point, we still have sympathy because I feel like she might not have anyone in her life that makes her feel seen and heard if she feels that seen by someone commenting on her changing her optical appearance, like putting on glasses.
But okay,
True.
so at this point, the internet is already kind of ripping into her, correct?
Yeah, they're like trolling her.
Her comments are probably not good.
No,
Most of her videos have comments turned off. Yep.
it's
And
really bad.
Does she ever address the comments?
Yeah, she's just like very angry.
People are asking me what my mental health diagnosis is. I do not have BPD. I do not have psychosis. I have ADHD. And I was experiencing extreme limerence with my psychiatrist. You all did some nasty work last night, and I had to turn off comments. It seems as though many people view what I'm going through as a crash out. What I'm
Why does it sound like she's in an airplane?
doing as a mental health spiral.
A lot of people think she might be going through some sort of mental health spiral very publicly.
I would assume so. It's an assumption.
And if it were just that, if someone is just going through a mental health spiral publicly, I don't even think I would make a video on it because that's just kind of weird. But the implications of her whole TikTok series is actually pretty bad. Like the consequences of her actions could be very bad.
Like what she's saying about all these mental health professionals and blah, blah,
Yeah, and so like you can have sympathy for someone if you feel like they are maybe not in the best place mentally, but also at the same time you can point out how what she's saying is so dangerous to other people who are seeking out mental help and also dangerous to her psychiatrist in question.
blah. Okay.
And
Yeah, it's also like it probably, it might scare some younger women that are like, oh, geez, I was hoping to have a therapist or a psychiatrist, and now I'm worried they're going to take advantage of me. And it's like, that's not good because that's really rarely the case.
and also to the people that watch her videos because she's a coach. Hold on.
A what coach?
She's a coach. Okay, so we're just gonna.
What is she
keep going.
coaching?
But at this point, I still have a lot of sympathy for Kendra because I'm like, okay, it seems like she's reading into a lot of these signs, but she keeps going and she says, I didn't realize at this time that he had feelings for me too. So I thought I was holding this all to myself, and I was excited that he noticed my glasses, and I ran and I showed him my other pair of glasses.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
So I was so excited when he noticed my glasses that I ran and showed him my other pair. And he said, I prefer turtle shell glasses. So even though I usually wear contacts,
And she's like recording the TikTok.
Oh my God, that's why she's wearing the glasses. Oh my gosh.
She's like, even though I usually wear contacts, and I'm looking at the screen and I'm like, girl, because she's wearing the turtle shell glasses. And she goes,
I'm wearing these turtle shell glasses in these videos because just in case he sees them ever.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
He'll see me in his favorite glasses. He did tell me he likes the turtle shell.
Okay, yeah, I saw that one.
yeah,
She's saying that he told me that he likes my glasses,
yeah,
and that's why I'm wearing it right now,
yeah.
which is
She probably was like, oh, which one of the two glasses do you like the most? And he was probably like, oh, I like the turtle shell ones. Once again, you would just expect us to be like, this is just a regular boring conversation.
so weird.
Yeah. She says it like it's so normal.
Like, is she still obsessed with him? Is that why she's still wearing it today?
I genuinely don't know. Netizens have theories. Some people think that is the theory. Like she's trying to get his attention on a very public scale. Some people think like this is, you know how Who the F Did I Marry was Risa Tisa and then it was Legion? All the netizens are like, I came into this thinking Kendra was Lisa Tisa. Turns out she's Legion. They're like,
see, I don't know what any of that means. Maybe I gotta find out. Is it worth it to watch? Let me know.
Like, turns out I'm
the hell's Legion? Who's Lisa Tisa?
Romance, but she's the stalker, and this is not fun because it's not fictional. Like, people are like, okay, like, this seems unhinged. The glasses, I think, is when everybody started shifting. They're like, ooh, no.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
this
creepy,
is getting
creepy,
weird.
creepy.
At the very least, like, maybe you should talk to a therapist, but you're already seeing a therapist, so, like, what can we say? So then she's like, he did tell me that he likes the tortoise shell. Anyway, it was just, like, inappropriate things like that. She claims that he diagnosed her with stress and other trauma-related disorders, but he doesn't tell her immediately about the diagnosis. So she makes it seem like it's, like, this very sinister thing that he's withholding from her so that he can use this diagnosis to manipulate her and, like, learn about what her vulnerabilities are. And it doesn't make sense because she straight up asks for her diagnosis and he's like, oh yeah, this is my diagnosis of you. So it doesn't seem like he's hiding it. And I also do believe stress and other trauma-related disorders is so broad.
It's very vague.
I mean, it's like diagnosing someone with anxiety. It's like, I think that if a mental health professional really wants to manipulate that, they don't need to diagnose you with it.
Yeah.
Like, they'll see it right off the bat. They'll see what's going on. And so at this point, eventually, I mean, she's seeing this man for years. Every month, 30-minute sessions. Just 30-minute sessions.
Years. So once a month, 30 minutes. That is not that long.
And she gets a boyfriend. She says she is obsessed with her psychiatrist, but she has this boyfriend. And at first she says that the psychiatrist was not feeling it, that she has a boyfriend. How do we know this? We don't really know this. She doesn't really give us any concrete explanation of like why he's not feeling it. Like maybe he didn't want to talk about her relationship, but again, he's her psychiatrist. He doesn't really want to talk to her about her feelings.
Right.
Until he realizes that her boyfriend is like a lot like him. That's what she says. She's like, and then I started talking to my psychiatrist about my sex life, about tracking my cycle,
weird.
using fertility awareness methods. And my psychiatrist loved it. He didn't ever say, this isn't inappropriate to your care. Let's pivot. He just let me talk and talk and talk about my sex life. And I didn't get too deep, but about a year and a half in, I would, side note about this. Some netizens thought that this was really bad. They're like, okay, yeah, this is the moment where I am on Kendra's side because maybe he is getting off about these sex life conversations. However, I will say that a lot of medications impact your sex life.
Right.
And sex life impacts your mental health.
Yep.
And it impacts your relationships, even your own self-image issues. And so a lot of, especially like antidepressants, SSRIs, they're going to mess with your sex life. They're going to mess with your sex drive.
Yeah, I mean, that happened to me. I think the first like 3 months I was on Lexapro, I felt kind of dead. And that sucks. And it's something that kind of goes away, And it stinks that stuff's taboo to talk about because it shouldn't be because everybody goes through things like that. It's real life, dude. It's, but it's scary when that happens because you feel like, oh my gosh, like my body is changing. Like what's going on? Same thing when I was putting on weight. Like I was like, whoa, wait, I was one of those people when I was younger. I'm 35 now. When I was younger in my teens and 20s, it was like I couldn't put on weight no matter what I did. I had a great metabolism. And then I started taking Lexapro and it made me happier. But then I was like, whoa, wait a second. What's going on? So that's confusing when that happens. Same thing with your sex life stuff and then your sex drive. It's confusing. It's weird. Nobody knows what to do.
And a lot of patients, what mental health professionals were saying online is they feel really uncomfortable talking about their sex life. And so doctors will try to encourage it so that you can open up to tell them, hey, these meds are not working and it's ruining my marriage because like I can't get it on. I can't do anything. And now we got another problem because now my marriage is crumbling. I don't know. Like they're saying things like that. Like it's uncomfortable. You want to be open so they don't feel shamed or embarrassed that maybe they're not performing in a certain way like they used to because of the medication.
Yep.
A lot of the psychiatrists are like, this is literally not. It's as common as being like, hey, are you shitting? It's like the same thing. Are you sleeping? Are you shitting? Are you having sex? Yeah. Obviously, if you're of age, right?
But again, we don't even know what exactly she talked about.
No.
Right.
She's just saying, I'm talking about my sex life. But we don't even know what extent.
No, but the extent that she tells us is like her cycles, her menstrual cycles, like tracking her cycles. That sounds
pretty
very
normal.
medical.
Yeah,
that
that's
sounds
super
like
medical.
very medical of like, oh yeah, so
That also may be something that psychiatrist is into, and that sounds like creepy, but into as in like good thing to know, good knowledge. Okay, here's your age, you're taking this medication, that's good for me to know this so I can use this information with somebody else. I can use it as a guide in the future. Like you do need that information.
making sure my menstrual cycle is still good while I'm on meds.
Okay.
It's giving that, but she doesn't tell us in depth of much anything. Just that he doesn't stop the conversation. And psychiatrists online are like, of course he doesn't stop
Yeah.
the conversation.
Why would he?
He needs to know this to provide care.
Right.
But she's like, that's crazy. You know, he liked this information. And so about a year and a half in
Okay.
of 30, 45-minute sessions a month. I don't know. How long is that in a year? How long is that in a year?
6 hours.
6 hours. Bruh. I think I spent more than 6 hours watching her fucking series, okay? So, like, it's really not a lot of time, especially over the span of a year. So, a year and a half in, she starts sending her psychiatrist emails about how much she likes him and how grateful she is. And she would put, like, a bunch of heart emojis.
Whoa.
And she is saying, this is when he should have transferred my care. There is something that is called transference and countertransference. And I did go on Reddit and I was reading a lot of therapists because there's like r/therapists. And they talk about how to deal with patients who have transference. So sometimes patients will come in and they say that it's actually more frequently female patients will come in. And if they have like a male provider, sometimes they will start developing almost like a trauma bond or almost misguided romantic feelings towards the male provider because they finally have someone that's listening to them. And I think it blurs the line of, are they listening to me because my insurance is paying them like $500 an hour? Or are they listening to me because they care about me, right? And like when you're mentally vulnerable, it gets confusing and you feel like, wow, nobody listens to me, but this man is listening to me. And so you might have some sort of transferring emotion there. And the best thing to do is once you notice it, a lot of therapists say it's actually pretty common. And you want to actually use it to help their journey. Like you want to talk about it and like you don't want it to be like this forbidden elephant in the room. It's like, hey, maybe you're feeling these things because maybe you lacked that from your previous relationship and these are the things that you are yearning for to find in your personal connect, like things like that. Like you can use it to further someone's journey in their mental health,
Right.
Got
right?
it.
But then there's also something called countertransference because people are saying, a lot of medical professionals are saying, hey, clients and therapists are made out of the same thing. We're all human. So sometimes therapists will start feeling very strong emotions towards their patients.
Yeah. And that's what Kendra is saying.
Yes, but from what I saw on r/therapist, it mainly happens with kids, not in like the weird way, but a lot of therapists will have overwhelming protective instincts towards the kids that they're in therapy with. They cannot be as clinical because they feel maybe they want to protect the kid. And so it just is like, it's a
Makes sense. And they might also see some of the kid in their self and their childhood trauma, and you know, they know how difficult it is. So I get that.
lot to deal with. And like in those cases, you usually keep the patient. You just have to be better about like, okay, I need to maintain, just not get so emotionally drained and like not let these things.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
But then sometimes a lot of therapists are like, hey, sometimes you got some very attractive patients and we're all human and it's okay. Like acknowledge it, talk to your supervisor, transfer them out. Like these are all normal things. Like the minute that you make it taboo is weird. She's saying he should have transferred me out. But r/therapists are also saying you should not transfer them out immediately. It appears from most psychiatrists' opinion online that Kendra has transference. It doesn't seem like her psychiatrist has countertransference, okay? And so when you realize that your patient has transference, if you immediately transfer them out, it might exacerbate abandonment issues. It might
She could spiral.
make them start questioning, like, is something wrong with me? Like, why did they abandon me? Like, this is someone who's supposed to care about me, but now they don't care about me and nobody cares about me. And then like you could lead to a spiral.
See?
And so a lot of the times you try to work them through it first. And then if it still doesn't work, then I imagine the psychiatrist was probably getting advice from his supervisors and like people that he's working with of like, okay, now how do you go from trying to work them through it? If that doesn't work, slowly getting to the point where you transfer them.
But then the email that she sent, do we know the context in exact, or is it more so just, oh, I tell him I like him, thank you, heart, heart, heart?
It seems more like that because
So it's not like a wholeheartedly confession letter.
she does confess that he's her crush later. So it seems like these emails up until this point are like, I like you, heart, heart, heart. So it's like, I imagine maybe it's also weird for the psychiatrist to overreact and be like, oh,
Yeah. It
transference. Like, it could just be like,
she genuinely really liked me. Like,
yeah, or like she just communicates with heart emojis.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
some
yeah.
people are like that.
Yeah.
Some people have more.
I know some people that, you know, will say babe a lot. Oh, how are you? You know, girls or something, or even guys. Hey, how you doing? How you doing, babes? I don't hear that and go, oh my gosh, they want me. It's like, no, that's just a term of endearment they use for people that they like, you know. And liking someone doesn't mean liking someone. It can be like, oh, I like you. You're a cool guy, cool girl.
Physical touch when they communicate, and it's not like they're hitting on you. It's
Right.
just like,
yeah.
you know. And so
You just can't overthink too many of those things sometimes. You know, if somebody goes, oh, good to see you. It may not seem what you think it is.
she's saying she's emailing him. He never emails her back. But she's like, no, it's because he doesn't want a paper trail.
Oh my gosh.
And I would send my psychiatrist these emails just about
You know, he probably was like, she's crazy.
how much I liked him and how I was so grateful for him and put in a bunch of heart emojis. And this is really when he should have transferred my care. But, you know,
To me, it's like she's the predatory one. She's the one that's grooming him, if anything. She's the one trying to do all these things, and he's the one not doing anything about it, which is what he should do, and he's doing it correctly as a doctor.
he waited. He liked what I gave him too much. And then I start emailing him my fun little emails, but he stops writing me back. He does not write back to my emails anymore. Because once again, he was really good at plausible deniability. But what he did do is he would take my emails and mention them in session. So he would still give me the attention that I was craving, but only under his structure, under his control, where there was no paper trail.
And so she's talking to him, and she says that he's liking the supply that I'm giving him. And she tells him that my boyfriend doesn't meet my needs. And my psychiatrist and my therapist are both like, you have to stay with your boyfriend. There's nothing wrong with him not meeting your needs.
Even though my boyfriend did not meet my needs, my psychiatrist and my therapist both were like, you have to stay with him. There's nothing wrong with him not meeting your needs.
And this is where netizens are like, that doesn't even make sense.
Right.
But also, like, your psychiatrist and your therapist are saying it. I don't know.
They probably were like, Jesus, if you break up with him, you'll fall even deeper in love with the psychiatrist, so just stay with the boyfriend.
It's weird. So we just have to believe that her psychiatrist and her therapist, independent of each other, are both shady. And we haven't like gotten concrete proof on either of them being shady yet, but they're both shady.
There seems to be no proof at all. Welcome to the internet culture of 2024, 2025 and on, where you could just say something and then people are like, it's true because someone said it. It's like, no. No, that's just not true.
And she says she would go to her psychiatrist looking for emotional validation, and he would just drip feed her slowly, just like drip, little droplets at a time, leave her wanting more. She says wholeheartedly.
And he took an oath to protect me, and he did not. He went right to work exploiting me.
It's almost weird seeing her without the glasses.
Right to work grooming me. Like, and he was very successful at it.
Like, she is saying this with so much confidence. And again, these are life-altering, potential medical malpractice, if not jail time level of accusations.
Did she ever say who he is, or?
She fucking says this is where I think people get upset with her. And I think up until this point, a lot of netizens could identify that maybe she's unwell mentally, or maybe this is a cry for help. I don't know. I'm not like armchair psychologist-ing her. I don't know anything, but People had sympathy until she said his name in a video. And then she didn't take it down. And then it was so easy to find him.
Oh, that sucks.
So people start doxing him because that's what the internet does.
Yep.
And she's like, well,
I accidentally said my psychiatrist's first name in one of my videos.
What do you mean accidentally? You watch the post back. You got to edit them. Like, come on.
If you clocked it, good for you. I do not owe him anonymity.
that's where people start getting mad.
Wow.
You actually do owe him anime. That's crazy.
And there is a racial element because, I mean, it's a common thing that has happened probably more times than we know of. But it has thrust into the online discourse of what people call white women tears. And we're going to get into it. But it's when white women accuse men of color of being predators without concrete evidence.
Got it.
Or it's not even like she needs concrete evidence. It's not like she has to be like, hey, I have pictures, I have videos, because sometimes you can't get those pieces of evidence. That doesn't mean that people shouldn't believe you, but it's like, even the things she's saying, she's like, he's a predator. He basically told
They're just very blanket statements. That's all.
me, oh, you're wearing glasses. So everyone's like, okay, you can't just like accuse anyone of being a predator and then like have their name out there, dox them, ruin their life.
That's horrible.
And nothing. And also, I think a lot of people were upset that
There should be consequences for that. You know, like, you shouldn't be able to just do that without consequence.
she mentioned that he's Pakistani because it's also like that added nothing to the story.
Right.
Like maybe, oh, you didn't say it correctly, but she could have just been vague about it. But it felt ick. So then eventually she says that she does tell her psychiatrist that she has a big crush on him. Okay, now this is big. It seems different from her emails.
I told him, I said, today we're going to talk about my intimate life. My psychologist, my therapist asked what your opinion on it was. And I told her that I don't talk to you about this intimate stuff because I have a crush on you. And he looked down and smiled so big in that moment. He smiled so big. And I loved it. It's so gross thinking about it.
I don't know if he smiled. I don't know if this is true. He could be a nervous smiler too. And she says,
Yeah, or you actually be like, you know, you hear something so ridiculous, you're just like, you know, like you can't just go off of something like that.
he smiled so big and I loved it. And she's like, this is so gross thinking about it. And then I proceeded to give him 30 minutes of nonstop content about my intimate life with my boyfriend. And I actually recorded the whole thing because I was so excited about it. But now it makes
That's also, can't you get in trouble for that?
me sick. And so she does share this recording, I believe, at one point, but then it gets taken down because it's a violation or something like that.
you're violating the rights of, dude, I'm sorry, but like this is getting worse and worse.
I'm not even gonna look for that because I think that's crazy, but I have a feeling it's not crazy. But she's saying it's crazy. She's saying he can't even sue me for defamation because I have this recording.
And I actually recorded the whole thing because I was so excited about it. But now it makes me sick. I can't even listen to the recording. Any ethical psychiatrist would have stopped me and said, Kendra, let's talk about your meds. Let's talk about your care. Felt so excited and nervous to share that with him because I had such a big crush on him at the time. And I recorded all 33 minutes. You know, if my psychiatrist wants to come with me and like sue me for defamation, I have a 33-minute recording of me admitting I have a crush on him and speaking about extremely intimate details. It was in that moment that he really, really should have transferred my care. That moment changed everything for him too, because that's when things really started getting deep between us.
Wait, that's really confusing. She basically confesses her love to him and then proceeds to tell him about her intimate life with her current partner.
Yeah, I think maybe she's trying to say like, I just think about you all the time.
Oh, like even when I'm with my
Yeah.
partner, blah, blah, blah.
And I mean, she is saying that she monologued for like 30 minutes and he doesn't stop her. But again,
That's his job to listen.
you're not talking to like a random dude on the street. You're talking to a psychiatrist who's probably running through 50 million possibilities in his mind of how to help you in that situation. And I think the last thing is probably like, hey, so zip it, hang up. Like that's probably
Right. That would be terrible. That would cause her to go nuts. He probably handled it exactly how you should. It's an awkward situation for him to be in. Right?
not what he's going to do. And so she says that she recorded it, which a lot of people are like, hey, if you recorded it and this is actually real, then you need to file medical malpractice, because if this is a real predator, then we need him not practicing.
Yeah.
But that's not happening.
Of course not.
And I mean, it doesn't seem like it's happening. And it
So she hasn't done anything legally.
It just seems like there's nothing on the 30-minute. I don't know. I don't know. And like, I know some people, a very small group of people are going to be frustrated that I'm giving this man so much benefit of the doubt. But like, truly, we haven't seen.
I would understand if someone's like, oh, it seems like you're siding with the man. It's like, I think it's pretty obvious what's going on, honestly. And for her to say like, oh, I recorded 33 minutes of our private Zoom call because I was so excited about telling him about my intimate details. And then now you're like, now it's disgusting. It was like, it's so confusing and weird. And I have yet to hear one thing about this guy that has me thinking something's off, because I'm very quick. I'm a man. I'm very quick to judge other men. Okay, I'm very pro women's rights. I'm always on their side for the most part because I know women are very logical. Kendra doesn't seem like one of them.
Really anything.
Yeah.
And these are
so
big
far,
accusations.
Yeah, I think like if she has anything legitimate,
Yeah.
everyone will be literally on her side.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, these are literally like.
But it's like it's innocent until proven guilty, and people on the internet want it to be guilty until proven innocent. It's like, no, that's not how it should work.
The true crime stories we hear about, like predators, but she hasn't given people any legitimate things to worry about.
Yes.
Right.
Like nothing. And then everything she says, she spins it kind of in like a twisted way. But a lot of people are saying, oh, that seems very normal.
Yeah.
Like that seems like he's doing a professional job at trying to help you.
Right.
Also, a lot of netizen comments are like, God, can't believe I'm defending a man. But like, same.
That's how I felt right there.
Okay, same girly pop. Like, I can't believe, right? And oh, also another comment that was interesting, and I was thinking about it. And like, normally I really hate these comparisons of like, well, if it were a female victim or a male victim, and like people like to compare, and it's like, hey, I think generally across the board, all victims don't get justice more than most of the time. You know, I feel like all victims have it like like it doesn't need to be a gender competition of like whose victimhood is. It's like it's bad
No one's trauma out traumas anybody else's. It's their trauma.
everywhere. Okay, but some people are saying if this was a male patient, like he could have been arrested. Like a male patient saying these things about a female psychiatrist.
True. Recording calls, sending emails. Yeah.
And like exhibiting these types of behaviors, a lot of people would be quick to use the word stalker, but because she's a woman, a lot of people are kind of holding off on the stalker word.
That's very true. This does give stalker tendencies here.
But it is kind of stalker-ish is what people are saying. And so she's still going every single month, and she's telling him about this crush, and she goes on a 30-minute monologue, and he just smiles and nothing. And then she says, and I want to address a few things. And she says, one, people are asking me about mental health diagnosis. I do not have BPD. She says, I do not have psychosis. I have ADHD. And I was experiencing extreme limerence with my psychiatrist. Limerence is a normal thing to happen to anyone who is experiencing hot and cold behavior from someone. And it happens more often in people with ADHD because I have dopamine dysregulation and rejection-sensitive dysphoria. And guess what? My psychiatrist knew that and used it to his advantage. And she's like mad. She's mad at the netizens.
And guess what? My psychiatrist knew that and used it to his advantage.
Okay.
And she also mentions, yeah, okay, people are doxing him. She's like, can stop doxing him. I'm going to delete your comment if you dox him. However, if you email me or DM me, I'll be more open to it. So she's like, I'll privately dox him for you.
Oh my God.
And she's like, I don't owe him anonymity. However, this is not about doxing my psychiatrist, which makes the whole situation messier because now this psychiatrist's entire career, could be in jeopardy. Like,
and when stuff like this happens, people will one-star, his office or his profiles and whatever and report things. And it's like this guy that could be completely innocent could be losing his job and career over this.
That's crazy, right? But she's like, this is not about doxing him. This is about my story.
This is not about doxing my psychiatrist. This is about me sharing my story so other people can view predatory behavior in people in power.
But if you claim to be a victim, then you should like seek justice.
Yeah.
Like, file something like.
That's another thing a lot of netizens.
Or she's saying that there's no way of doing anything legally.
Need to stretch
because
again
there's
here.
no evidence. But I know what he did, basically.
Right.
Yeah. But then, like, the way she's like, here's the subtext, read between the lines of everything he did. A lot of netizens are having a hard time reading between the lines. And then a lot of psychiatrists are like, actually, that seems like by the book of like what we're supposed to do in situations like this.
Yeah.
So it's very tricky. It's just very weird. And this guy is getting doxxed everywhere. And I did notice something. I'm not going to put a picture anywhere. That's crazy. But he was in his very professional headshot wearing tortoise shell glasses. She calls them turtle shell, but tortoise shell glasses. And so that was the one thing where I was like, okay, it is kind of weird that he was like, oh, I like tortoise shell glasses. And then she wore him. I didn't think it was that weird, but I guess it like popped up. And then when I saw the picture, I was like, oh
yeah, like he just wears them.
He literally is wearing them. So he might have just been like, oh yeah, I like these. Like, I like this pattern. Yeah.
Like someone, like a girl saying, oh, I like wearing hats. And I'd be like, oh yeah, I like that hat. I wear hats like that too. There you go.
It's a cool pattern. Whatever.
So I'm wearing it. Oh, you got one too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. We're
Literally.
matching.
Literally.
Haha. Yeah, these are cool. I feel like they're more fun of a pattern than like the regular metal frame ones. Haha. Anyway, are you shitting? Like, that's what it gave me when I saw that picture. I was like, oh.
We can stop. That'd be a good way to stop it here at the Are You Shitting again. Almost an hour in. I'll do the part 2 next week. Because no light goal or anything. Like, I need to finish this and see what else happens because I'm hooked. Do I need to watch let me know though, do I need to watch the, Who the F Did I Marry? Is that even worth it? So wait, is it a worthy watch? All right, if you made it to the end and still haven't liked the video, please do so. Leave some comments, reply to some comments. If you're excited about the merch drop, let me know. That'd be exciting to read that. Get me a little bit less nervous because I'm always afraid something's just going to flop and I'm like, okay, shoot. You know, I've been working on trying to be more confident about things going into them. So once again, next Sunday, that'll be that. $30, $40, shirt and a sweater. It'll be a surprise. But I'm telling you, like, if you're like, no, I got to see it, I think you'll be happy. I've thought long and hard about it. But that's it for me here on Triple R, Ryan's Raw Reactions. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to StephanieSoo, Miss Rotten Mango, herself, and her husband for another great video. We'll get this part 2 coming soon. And that's it. Please don't bother me while I'm watching true crime. Peace out.